Greetings, everyone. Lord Von Wolf here with another episode of Noob Sauce. Welcome back, everybody. And here we have a nice picturesque view of the coral reef that's next to our crescent moon base-like location. As you can tell, between episodes 5 and 6, which we're now currently in, I've been doing a little remodeling of the island a little bit. And I moved myself from the edge over there to over here, and as you can see, I've been gathering resources. I opened up the map just slightly a little bit more than our little circle, but I didn't grab anything new because I didn't want to not show you guys what I'm doing here. So you can see that everything here is done straight through survival, even though I did put on the creative cheats. Once again, I just wanted to show that I do not use creative cheats to cheat in this world. I actually play and gather resources like everybody else does who plays without that command. So what we're going to do today is we're going to continue with learning survival techniques, exploring a little bit more, and maybe getting ourselves another tool. Well, first off, what I want to show you is if you don't have access to coal, which sometimes you may not, you can actually use your wood products. Remember when I made my wood tool sets? That can actually be used in a furnace to cook an item or so. Or any wood products, therefore, are burnable. But another way is you do have access to logs. You can create something called charcoal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 8 oak logs. I'm going to put that up here, and I'm going to take a piece of coal, believe it or not, yeah. And then I'm going to create 8 pieces of charcoal out of that 1 piece of coal. Technically, you get 7 for 1, but let's just say 8. Because remember, 1 piece of coal will always cook 8 items. And we get this item called charcoal, which is the same type of material used to craft anything that coal is made. So torches and stuff like that. Now, there's one other thing you can use to create a light source, a cooking station, as well as a limited small beacon to indicate where the placement of this item is, and that's called the campfire. Okay, so we're going to go into our crafting table, our 3x3. Okay, and this is the item we want here, the campfire. What you're going to need for this is coal or charcoal, 3 sticks, and 3 logs, not planks, logs. And it goes in this formation. So we now created a campfire. And now if I place this down, and I take it back up, and I don't have the enchant silk touch, I'm going to destroy the item. I'll get back like the sticks and stuff, but I won't get back the charcoal and everything. Alright, so that's what it looks like. Now if I put this on a bale of hay, this smokestack, which only goes up to about there, will actually go higher up and will become somewhat more of a beacon for you so you can find out and say where your base is. Now, if I pick this up, watch what happens. Oh, I'm sorry, I got it backwards. I lose all the wood, but I get 2 pieces of charcoal out of that. Okay, so essentially I'm collecting the ash from this campfire, and all we have to do is create another one. Make sure I have enough resources for this. Now, one of the reasons why, and I will leave that in there for now, one of the reasons why I want this campfire is, let me grab these shears. Let me show you something. You're going to find this when you go about wandering and stuff like that. But you can also create this item right here, naturally. Now, right there, you saw the bee come out of the beehive. All right. If you have a oak or a birch tree that is next to a flower within 2 blocks that has a flower of any type, it can potentially create a beehive. And these little marks right here, there and there, indicate the beehive has enough honey that you can actually harvest it. Now, if I harvest this beehive, he's going to attack me. If I harvest the honey out of this beehive, he's going to attack me. Now, when you have people who do the beehives naturally, they use a smoker to calm the bees. And that's essentially what we're going to do with this campfire. We're going to take the campfire. Now you can see how full it is because it is dripping with honey. Okay. So we're going to place this campfire directly underneath this beehive. And that campfire is going to smoke the beehive, therefore pacifying the bee. Now I can use these shears to collect honeycomb Or if I happen to have a glass bottle, which we'll get into later on, I can actually collect the honey itself and create honey blocks. But I'm going to use shears on it and shear it, and it went like all over the place. You can hear the bee around. He's doing his, oh, it's all the way over there in the water. But he's not attacking me. He's probably looking for a flower to get the pollen from. Yeah, well, he's stuck on a tree again. Whoever said bees are smart. Alright, so let's go get this item. And we get this item, and of course, we get a new recipe. Oh, look at that. He's going out there. He's going out there. So I got 3 bees for this honey nest, which is cool. Now, to pick that up, so I can move that nest, I need Silk Touch. So we're going to leave that one there, and we're going to use it to gather. I'm going to leave the campfire there. I'll put that grass block back here. Right there. And I'm going to use it so I can craft these items by shears. So, I now have honey blocks, but I only have 3. You need 4 to make, what was that? To make the honey block. So, honeycomb block anyway. That is that. And that's one of the things you can do with campfires and bees nests. Let me go put this stuff away. As we come back on over. Let's see. I don't really need the shears. I'll leave this in here for now. Oh, I was going to show you the cooking on the campfire too. Yeah, you know what? I should be able to show you over here. Ah, that's my brain. Non-functional. I can still do it even though it's over here. So, I'm going to take this raw mutton and I'm going to place it. Now, yeah, I don't know if you can really see it or not, but you see, get the smoke out of there. There's one in each corner, including the back ones. Now, what's going on is this campfire is actually cooking these 4 items. You can do 1 or up to 4. It's your choice. And what will happen is when these are done cooking, they'll pop off. But don't worry about them falling back into the fire because they shouldn't. But they'll pop off and you can collect them. Now, if you walk into that fire, you will take damage. It is still fire. See, look, they popped off. They're not burning up. And I now have cooked mutton. So that's another thing you can do with the fire. The campfire, that is. So it gives you light, a method of cooking, and basically a smoke signal to indicate the location of the campfire. They're pretty useful. Alright, so I should put that away. Now, let's do a little bit of exploring. I don't need that one dirt block. Oh, here's that horse that I was talking about that I fished up when I got the horses and stuff. I'll go over that later on. Alright, so I'm going to take with me the crafting table, the bed, the boat. Do I need anything else? Yes, actually, because we're also going to go to the water. So we're going to craft something. Let's go here. I'm going to take 2 logs, make 8 planks out of it, and then I'm going to create an outdoor set. I don't need those ones for now, so I'll put those away. I'll explain why you want a door when we get to that point. So we're going to open up this map a little bit more and explore. Now, I know that we have a dark oak forest. I have been near it. I have not gotten trees out of it yet, but so I'm going to get into the boat, put the boat in the water. We showed you how to do this when we got the pigs for the farm. And all you have to do to move is you just move like normally as you were walking on land. Okay, so we're going to go over this way because this is where that dark oak forest was. Used to be known as the dark oak rooftop. But I think it's just now just dark oak forest. Okay, here is the dark oak. Now this all actually connects. I could actually walk the land going all the way around. There is a birch forest biome over in that direction. We do have more horses over here. I'm hoping a donkey will eventually generate, so I can show you that. And another one of my tweaks is age 25 kelp. Kelp only grows as high as 25 total levels, but the base is always random. It's never like 1 at the base. It's generated when the kelp's placed. So those that actually have enough room to generate a level 25, my tweak tells me by these little pink flowers pink, purple, probably more purple. That's a level 25 kelp. And kelp is used for food and fuel source as well as decorations. Okay, so as you can see, we have lost the daylight. The moon is coming up. And right there is a special item. I will show you that to you in 1 second. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to the land. I'm going to place down my mobile bed. And I'm going to sleep so we don't have mobs to deal with. Okay, sorry, the game glitched there for 1 second. I'm not really sure why. Now, since I slept in a different bed than my home bed, I reset my spawn point. Now, I'm going to break the bed, and by doing so, I lose that spawn point. So if I die, which I hopefully don't because I have 31 levels, I will respawn at home spawn point, not my bed spawn. So wherever the world spawn point is, that's where we'll respawn. That's the downside of using mobile beds to get rid of the nights. Luckily enough, though, if I don't have any mobs to deal with, I should be able to stay alive. Now, that right there is underwater, as normally you would find it on land, but you find it underwater as well, is known as a broken or ruined portal. Okay, the portal system is used to go to another dimension. That dimension is now known as the Nether. For the most part, everybody knows it as the Nether. Its original name during the concept phase was Hell, but that was eventually changed to a much nicer name, Nether. So let's get down here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that door set, put that in my hand, get down to this area. I'm going to place down a door. Now look what happens. Doors are not waterloggable, which means this right here, this 1x2, is an air pocket. Now I'm not really sure if this is by design or not, but the Mojang has left this in the game for some time now, and I'm hoping they keep it that way because it's a cheap way of getting into the water and doing something underneath without drowning. Alright, so this is how we can explore ruins and shipwrecks, which we haven't found yet, as well as things like this. Now, as you can see, I have obsidian. That's this black purplish type block right here. This is what you need to create your portal. These purplish blocks are called crying obsidian. This is a new block for 16. It's a decorative block, but it also can be used to create an anchor in the Nether, which we'll deal with much later down the road. Now, if you find a portal, all portals will have a chest next to it, which will give you some goodies. Ooh, what do we have here? Let's see, we have a block of obsidian, which we're going to eventually need to use. We have a mending golden shovel. Now, remember, gold tools are actually considered a set above your wooden set, but gold is malleable, so it's very soft. Just go right to stone, Let's see, we got a mending hoe, unbreaking chest plate. Ooh, gold horse armor. So now we have gold horse armor with our saddle, which is good. And we have golden carrots. Now, golden carrots is a really good food source, but you use golden carrots to breed horses, donkeys, and then if you use a donkey and a horse, you create a mule. So I'm going to definitely collect these guys so we can create more horses, and eventually we'll get to the mule. And, oh, curse of vanishing. Alright, that's actually a curse. So if I put those leggings on me, they'll stay on until I die. Once I die, they completely disappear. You'll never see them again. And then, of course, we have some iron nuggets. These are pieces of iron that are under an iron ingot. Cool. Okay, so we've got some interesting stuff. I want these for breeding. Oh, that is a fish dying on this magma block. Probably on the other side. Alright, so I'm going to do this, and it's all going to float to the top. In the old game, that never happened. Everything stayed on the bottom and sank. Oh, see, just like that sinking? Okay, so let's get the door out of here. Now back to holding. Well, it probably came down because of the bubbles. Okay, so I'm gaining air because I'm standing over the air bubbles. I don't see what. Oh, right there. Right there's where that fish died. Okay, let's go and collect that fish. Why not? Okay, and as you can see, there's more obsidian here. Now let's go collect our stuff that we just got out of there. Ice bucket. Oh, the reason I got the ice bucket advancement challenge, okay, is because I collected obsidian. Now, normally you get this. Yeah, let's bring that advancement up. Normally you get this. Obtain a block of obsidian when you have a diamond pickaxe. But since we collected a block of obsidian through a treasure chest, we were able to gain that advancement. Alrighty, let's go get this tree. I've been dying to get this tree for a while. But I'm not trying to rush this world because, like I said, I want to make sure you guys see it so you understand what is going on later on in the episodes. Now, I have a set of 3 here. Plus, we have the... I should have brought the boat over, shouldn't I? That's right. We have giant mushrooms. This is a giant red mushroom. Flower of the lily. And that is a giant brown mushroom. Do I have to take all 3 of these brown trees down? Do I have a single I can get to? I'm probably going to want to take the mushroom down too. Oh, I bet you can get that one right there. Okay. Now, if I use my axe on these red and brown mushrooms, I will collect regular red and brown mushrooms. If I want the blocks, I need that enchantment Silk Touch. Okay, so I'm going to go in here and collect this dark oak. Now, you'll see the difference between this and a regular oak tree is that this is pretty wide, which means that you actually require 4 saplings to create just 1 tree of dark oak. But you generally get about a half a stack of wood out of it, which is actually not bad, especially for beginner stuff. Because out of an oak tree, you get anywhere from 4 to 8 logs typically. Same thing with the birch tree. So you obviously need 4 trees versus just 1 tree like this. And I picked up 1 sapling. Oh, I got some more here. Okay. Okay, guys. I am not a parkourer, so bear with me. My kids are always creating parkour courses for me, and I just fail miserably at them. Alright, so I'll get the rest of this, but we got, oh, nice. So we can replant this tree because we now have 6 saplings. So I can start now farming dark oak. But let's go get these mushrooms as well. And the reason why is because so I can collect the blocks as well as the mushrooms so we can have mushroom stew. Now, mushroom stew used to be really good. You have to use an axe, by the way, in the game. And now there's other things that are better, of course. The only problem with mushroom stew was, and still is, it does not stack like the rest of the food products. So it kind of fell out of favor because it's not stackable. Now see all these little mushrooms that are dropping? That's what I want. That's a stem block. Okay, so now look how I'm going right through that axe like it was nothing. But let's put these 2 together. Let's go get that brown one. And now, since we're in a dark oak forest, be mindful of mobs forming because there is everything here pretty much is spawnable underneath all the stuff because this is shade from the sun, especially creepers. Creepers love dark oak forest, and I'll get to those flowers in a second. Let's get up here and get this guy. Let's see how many brown and red mushrooms we get out of these giant ones. And I will show you how you can generate these later on. But I need a base to begin with, so that's why I'm collecting these now. Okay, so we did get some to drop, which is good. And yep. Okay. And up on the tree. Parkour, tree parkour. Alright, so we got out of those 2 tall ones, 19 of the red and 14 of the brown. Okay, that's pretty good for, basically 1 of each mushroom. Sorry, I was just looking to see if I have anything now. Let me go over here and show you this real quick. You've already seen the flowers that are around the island, and I've collected a couple of them already. They're used for 2 things. Decoration, Hey, you want to, things look pretty. And dyes. That's how you can create your dyes is through flowers. Now you have the single layer, which are the ones, but you have these two tall flowers. So 1 by 2, called two tall flowers, which you can actually use something called bone meal on, and it duplicates that flower. That's an in-game function that is designed to do that. And we got our first dye, pink dye. So we can take this flower, I can put it in there, and I can create pink dye out of it. Alright, but I'm going to actually plant that and use bone meal on it so we can get pink. And that is this area. And the two tall flowers. There are 4 two tall flowers. You have this one here, the peony. You have a rose bush, and I'm getting to be about nighttime again. You have a sunflower, which can only be found in sunflower plains, and that's the only location you'll find a sunflower. And then you have the lilac, or lily, lilac, I'm sorry. Flower of the valley, lily. Ugh. They keep adding stuff in. Okay, let's do our bed trick again. So place the bed down, sleep. Now see, notice it respawn set. Because once again, I slept in a different location in a bed. And now since I took the bed up, I've destroyed that spawn point. There's a hole. Let's not fall down. Ooh, I see a light source, which means... No, okay. I just want to see if I can find one more two tall flower for you guys. Probably not. If not, then we will move on to the next thing. Thank you. And yeah, thank you. Ooh, get over here. Okay. Okay. Wait. Pumpkins. This is another hole. Ooh, I get to explore it. Nope, yourself. Alright. Let's move on to the next thing. Let's get out here by the water. Now, I've already showed you the door trick. We found a house ruin on land, where it normally can be found in the water. Well, actually, it was in the water. It was a little out, mostly in the water. And of course, my inventory is getting full here. Oh, we left the boat over there. It's right on the island. Normally, I pick it up. But do you understand now why I bring this stuff with me? I make sure I've got all this stuff right here. A source of, fuel, wood, a crafting bench, a bed, a boat. And if I know I'm going to be doing water stuff, I'll bring a door. If I don't have the enchants to get me to be able to breathe underwater. So that's that. That's exploring. And you can get ink sacks for writing and black ink. Get over here. Okay, I got it. Swimming. Okay. Now, swimming is the same thing as running. You hit your double tap forward and you'll swim. There is a tab key, not a tab key, key binding for swimming. So let's go hit escape, bring up our little bit of menu right here. All right, this is your sub menu. This is how you get in and out of the game. This will also pause the game in single player mode only. If you're in a multiplayer or a LAN game, which is a multiplayer, this does not pause the game. So keep that in mind. If we go over here to options, and let's see, we have our resource pack controls. We go back into our control section. This is where I told you how you turn off your auto jump and stuff like that. And you go down to sprint is left control. Where was the swimming one? I think it's the same thing, isn't it? Okay, screenshot is your F2. This is what you can tell your key bindings are to. Oh, and this is the new one as of 16.4, which is what this episode is actually beginning with. The social interaction screen. That's for multiplayer. Okay, so saves. You swap. Walk forwards, backwards, strafe, sprint. I do believe swimming and sprint are the same key, if I remember correctly. Since my finger's already on the forward key, I just automatically double tap my forward key anyway. It's easy enough. So, water, let's go swimming. Yep, see me swimming. Now, remember, you can drown, so be careful with what you're doing. Oh, hello. Can I get you to drop anything? Oh, I'm gonna drown. Killing a drown, and I'm about to drown. Go figure. Alright, so this is what I get for leaving the boat all the way over here. We're all noobs. Oh, and by the way, just in case, if you think noob is a derogatory term, some people do use it as a derogatory term, but in reality, it's not. All of us start out as noobs. You have to. I mean, how else are you gonna learn? It's like that For Dummies series. Okay, now that is the bubbles trying to take the boat down, and it will. If you stay there, it will literally suck the boat under the water and keep it there on those magma blocks. All right, let's go over to this coral reef real quick. So, we're also going to collect this kelp. And I will do that shortly after we get over closer to this kelp here, because there's also one other thing I'm going to show you. Alright, now we're over here. This is the coral reef, which you can only find in warm ocean biomes. These are very unique biomes. This stuff does not typically regrow, although I have a tweak that allows me to create additional coral reef blocks and stuff like that, but you have to use bone meal and all that other stuff. It's a little complicated, which is good because it doesn't make it too easy to do so. But look at how beautiful these blocks are, and you can craft these great underwater things. But a couple episodes ago, I talked about these things called sea pickles, which are lighting underwater. That's a pufferfish, by the way. See, he puffed up. Now, if I touch him, he'll poison me. So we're going to keep him away. Now, he puffed because I'm not in his area. Alright, now, this is what I want here. This is called a sea pickle. So I'm going to collect this. Now, you notice it got darker in here. And it can also get dye out of this. So, let's get over here. Alright, now I'm going to go back to land. I'll be right back. Alright, as you can see, I'm back over here at the island. The sun is going down. And what I'm going to do is, now if the sun wasn't going down, you still could do this, you just won't sleep. I'm going to reset my spawn point back over here to this bed. But since the sun is also down, which means I'm going to sleep, we're going to get the night out here as well. So you get to look at your feet. Okay. So, as you see, I reset my spawn point, and now I'm back over here. So if I die, I'm at home. And I have an inventory full of stuff, so let's get this out of my inventory and talk about the sea pickle and the coral a little bit more. I want to keep that in there. Let's get rid of all of these stuff for right now. Put it all away. Okay. And then we're going to talk about this. Now, the sea pickle is a unique item. It's actually decoration and a light source. Now, if I put this down here on dry land, you notice I don't have that little light green. Let's open up the chat window. This part right here is missing. When it's on land, you don't get that little tail thing, and it doesn't really show off the light. So you use it for decoration. A lot of us like to use it for like a cup on a table or a desk or something like that. And you just pick it back up by just clicking it. Now, if I take it and put it in water, believe it or not, you see the little tail things back, but that actually gives us a light source. But since I have, torches here, you can't really see too well. You can add up to 3 more of these and have a total of 4, which increases the light radius around. So I only have 3, so I'll place 3. Let's go over here. We'll go underwater here a little bit. I don't put that down here. So, see how it kind of lit up things a little bit? Let's go a little bit more. It gets a little brighter, and then the last one, and brighter. Now, if I can add a 4th one in, and it'll maximize the lighting, so I can keep this here, and that'll help anything spawning in here, such as the drown. Or if you want to make it like nice and pretty and everything like that, it'll give off a light source so people can see better in the water. I'm going to collect those back. Now, if you want to generate more of these, you're going to need coral to do so. Well, sorry guys about that. That is a reminder on my computer that my wife's birthday is today. Okay, so I'm going to take one bone, and I'm going to convert this bone over to bone meal. Now, bone meal is used for creating crops and stuff like that. So if I planted, say, a tree sapling right here, and I use bone meal in it, it increases the possibility of it growing as a tree. Okay, so that's what we're going to do with this sea pickle. Now, you need coral that's in water. If you take coral without silk touch, you actually kill the coral block. All right, so we're going to come over here. Let's go out of the boat. We're going to go down and get these pickles right here, and that's going to fin on it. But, okay, that's all right. Okay, give me those back. I'm going to go underwater, and I'm going to take this coral out. Watch what happens when I pick it without silk touch. I'm not going to drown. Okay. Right there. Dead horn coral block. So it turns gray. So it went from yellow to this gray block. Now each of the colored variants has a gray variant as well. And a lot of people are using the dead versions of the coral for varying their gray block palette. And you can never get that back, by the way. So once it's dead, it's considered dead. So if you want to collect the colors, you have to make sure to use silk touch and to maintain these colors. Because if you take a live coral and place it down without any water source touching it, it dies automatically. So you have to keep that in mind. But we're here for the sea pickles. Let's get back underneath. I'm going to plant one sea pickle on top of this, and then I'm going to take this bone meal, and I'm going to bone meal this. And look what happens. I get 4 out of that 1, so we gain 3 for each one. I'm going to drown again. So what you can do is you can bone meal, pick up, bone meal, pick up. You can create a machine for this, and I will down the road. And I'll leave that one there. So let me grab these. And that's how you can create more sea pickles for yourself. Now it'll be easier, of course, if I have silk touch and I can bring it over to the base and stuff like that. So out of that, what, 3? I managed to get myself 12. Plus I left, 4 behind. And we have 1 dead coral block. All right, so I showed you how to explore your world a little bit more and keep yourself alive using the tool sets that we now have at this time. So when you explore the world, this is one way of doing it. Make sure you have your crafting table, a bed, a boat, and at least 1 door with you, especially if you're going to go underwater or something like that. All right, guys? So that's more survival tips. I'm hoping next episode, because I'm going to explore and open up the world a little bit more so I can try to find some more resources. Oh, I was going to talk about the kelp real quick, too. Let me do that real quick. Let's go over here to this kelp right here. Come on, kelp. Here we go. And all you have to do to break some of it off is just get it somewhere, and this will regrow. Okay, so I've collected kelp. Now, kelp by itself is just decoration. It does create water blocks, and I'll explain that later on when we start working on some of our builds. Now, if I click on this, nothing happens. I can't do anything with it, other than the fact that if I want to grow some more, like say right there, I can plant it. That'll grow 1 more because there's a water block above it. But if I plant it here, nothing's going to happen. So those 2 will grow. Random ticks, just like anything else. But what I can also do with this, now let's do 16 so I can show you 2 things about this. So, regular furnace, we're going to cook this kelp. All right, and this is going to create something. Now notice I'm using the charcoal, by the way, not the coal. So you see it does the same thing as coal does, it's just made differently. Okay, it creates this thing here, dried kelp. This actually, as you can see, is a food source, but it's only worth half a hunger. Let me let that get cooked up, and we'll be right back. All right, we're almost done here. We'll have 16 of these dried kelps. Bam, there we go. Get a bit of experience out of that. And now what I can do with this is I'm not hungry, but I can eat it. Or I can craft this into what's called a dried kelp block. Now this can be used for decoration, or I can actually use this as a fuel source to cook. I forget exactly how many items this will cook, but that's what you can do with it. You can cook up the kelp and the dried kelp, which is a source of food. It's not, it's not great. It's only half a hunk, but it's survivability. If you have nothing else, you always have kelp to fall back onto. You can't eat the dried kelp block, but it can be used as a fuel source to cook things with. And it does cook more things than a piece of coal. Alright guys, and I fell. That's it for this episode. We got some more survival techniques out of what we're doing. We're getting into the night time. I'm probably going to have some fun here and explore this map. So as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for subscribing. Y'all take care now. Bye.